Folks, this is Book Talk with Corbin. I'm your host. Today, I want to share something with you that's really been on my heart for a long time. And I was just saying to myself, I didn't know exactly how to say it, but I did know it was important for me to say it. And I also want to make it clear to folks that this is not a political statement per se. This is nonpartisan. This is a nonpartisan issue. I'm raising a nonpartisan issue. This is an issue that cuts across racial, class, and ideological lines. It is about the protection of our children, period. I have been teaching young people after-school programs, online programs, etc., for 10 years now. And it looks pretty clear to me that I'm probably going to continue doing this for another 10, 12, 15 years. In doing this for the past 10 years, it seems like I've gotten even that much more committed to what I'm doing because I really begin to see the truth of that old cliche. You know, our children are our future. Our children are our future. And our children are precious. They are a blessing. They are precious. They are a blessing. My whole life changed for the better when they showed me my daughter, Sarah. She's been a great source of joy for me and also a great source of grieving because right now our relationship is almost non-existent and her mother's not helped me to reconcile with my daughter. I don't even know why my daughter is upset with me. Don't even know why. But the point is, our children are our hearts. They're the soul and the future of our country, the world. And it's not a matter if you're liberal or conservative or if you're black or white, Republican or Democrat. We have to protect those precious souls. We have to. And that's why I decided to put this podcast out there and to say this. Listen to me very carefully. There is a political movement, a cultural movement in this country to sexualize our children. These folks in this political movement, this cultural movement, are pedophiles. They support pedophilia. That means adults having sex with children. They believe in the sexualization and the sexual exploitation of children. Folks, I'm not talking about some crazy conspiracy theory. I'm telling you, based upon my research and what I have actually witnessed, that is what's happening in this country today. And we don't have enough people with the character and integrity to stand up and say no. Now, when I say we don't have enough people in the political arena. The public servants, the politicians. We don't have enough of them just standing up and flat out saying, no, this is wrong, and we're not going to put up with it. Too many of them are too concerned about being viewed as woke or as progressive or as PC. That has nothing to do with it. All that has nothing to do with it. Diversity, equity, it has nothing to do with protecting our children from a political and cultural movement that flat out supports pedophilia. They want to normalize adults having sex with children. That's it. It's a fact. I actually read about this years ago. Probably going back 15, 16 years. I was reading a book. And this book was talking about how out of a particular political, cultural movement in this country, many of the key leaders supported pedophilia. And they didn't just have a network within the United States, but they had connections in a network and cooperation and partnership with folks in other countries. And then fast forward to today in Louisville, Kentucky, suddenly we have this quote-unquote movement or effort to have drag queen reading hour in the library. Why? Why? Why is it necessary to have a man dressed in drag, dressed very provocatively, and making some very progressive movements, body movements, to read to children? Now, I don't care. If you're a woman, I don't care you're an adult woman and what you do in the privacy of your bedroom with a consenting adult. You want to go read to children, that's wonderful. God bless you, do that. I don't care if you're a man, grown man, adult man. I don't care what you do in the privacy of your bedroom, with another consulting adult. You want to read to children in the library, school, or anywhere else, God bless you, that's fine. But why must you insist on advertising, promoting your sexual preference to children? What's that got to do with reading See Jane Run, See Spot Jump? What's that got to do with it? Folks, just that alone should make you think. It should make you think. Here in Kentucky, in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, there's a movement, there's an organization called No Left Turn in Education. And there's a woman within that organization named Miss Stovall who found pornography in school libraries. Now, some people might say, well, I don't know I can't believe that. I can't believe it was pornography. Folks, go to my website, Book Talk with Corbin, CORBIN.com, and look up her and search for her interviews. I've done 2 of them with her. And you decide for yourself. When I initially contacted her, I'll be honest with you, I was sort of skeptical. You know what her attitude back was? Her response back to me was? Well, let me show you this, and you decide. Let me read this to you, and you decide. I was stunned. I couldn't believe it. If I had made something like that available to a child when I was coming up, I would have been in jail. And really going to jail, or going to prison, would have been the better option for me, because if that mother or father had found out that I had shown something like that to their child, that'd been it. I would be running to the police stations. Please protect me. These people are going to take my head off. And rightfully so. People, I'm telling you, don't take my word for it. Go do your own due diligence. Go see it for yourself. Go to my website, Book Talk with Corbin. Stovall's her last name. I want to say first name Miranda, but she's with the organization No Left Turn. You go to decide for yourself. And then once you've seen it, once I saw it, I kept asking myself, what's going on here? I knew what was going on here. There are people in a particular political and cultural movement that support pedophilia. Period. They want to normalize pedophilia. When I used to work for a Marxist newspaper up in New York City, Manhattan, there was a debate about a particular organization. It was an organization of pedophiles, men who like boys. I'm not going to tell you the name of the organization yet, but I will in a different podcast. And that organization wanted to get involved with the so-called gay rights movement. And many times they were in the parades in organizations. And there were debates about, and this is within Marxist, socialist, intellectual circles, whether or not they should be involved. Now, here's the debate. The debate was not that they shouldn't be involved because adults having sex with children is wrong. The debate was not about, pedophilia is wrong. Being a pedophile is a sick thing. It's a grotesque and exploitive thing. That wasn't the issue. The issue was, bourgeois society is not progressive enough to accept this. So for PR reasons, for public relation reasons, we should ask these pedophile groups to step back until we can get more mainstream acceptance. That was the debate. That was the debate. It was a PR situation. Think about that, people. But then again, I'm going to tell you one more time. Don't take my word for it. You go check things out for yourself. You go check things out for yourself. You go to these public libraries that have all these so-called drag queen reading hours, and you ask them point blank, I don't get it. Why is it necessary for him or her to, or him? It's usually a guy dressed as a woman, very provocative manner, wanting to read the kids. Go talk to that library and say, I don't get it. Why is that necessary? We don't have a problem with anybody, any adult, wanting to read the kids. That's wonderful. It's great. And I personally don't care what you do in the privacy of your own bedroom with another consultant adult. That's none of my business. I don't care. But why the dress and the makeup, the bras and things of that nature in front of children? You're reading a children's book to children. Why do you have to do that? Go ask that performer. And don't confront them. Don't debate them and argue with them. What you want to do is ask them. You want to get them to saying, well, can you tell me what your position is on pedophilia? Pedophiles? You think it's right or wrong for adults to have children? To have sex with children? And just listen to what they say. Don't debate them or argue. Just ask them. Say, hey, man, I'm just curious. I really would like to know. That's all you need to do, people. That's all you need to do. This is a nonpartisan issue. Protecting our children from pedophiles. That's a nonpartisan issue. Protecting our children from sex traffickers. This is really, in many respects, all those people are. And protecting our society from a cultural and political movement that wants to normalize pedophilia. So I just wanted to put that out there. I thought it was important for me to do it. And part of the reason why is, one, I have a daughter. She's an adult now. And I've been working with youth, been working in this youth organization been working in youth, as a youth worker, I guess you might say, for since 2010. And I know I'm going to continue doing it because I love what I do and I do what I love. And understand the importance. We got to protect our children. This is not a partisan issue. I don't care if you're Donald Trump or you're Joe Biden. I don't care if you're Nancy Pelosi or if you're a conservative, if you're Condoleezza Rice. Doesn't matter. This is a nonpartisan issue. And we have to come out very boldly and clearly in stating to a certain political and cultural movement that is growing and expanding this country. And this political and cultural movement is doing everything they can do to normalize pedophilia, pedophiles, sex trafficking of children, sexually exploiting children. That's where we got to draw the line. United, draw the line. This is Book Talk with Corbin. I'm your host.